Welcome to the Irish Farmers Journal Weekly Podcast, brought to you by Ornua, the home of Irish dairy.
We don't know the details, but we can put our judgment on, really. All the business has to be done.
And so much money comes from Europe, especially for farmers and subsidies. Do you think that that's going to all come to an end now, or will the government start to fund it themselves?
Unknown quantity, with that much pressure for money to go for health service, all them other things. Farming's not a big thing to the British government, no matter what party's in. We'll be way at the bottom of the line.
James Graham from Portadown. We breed Hereford cattle. I think everybody was taken back yesterday at the outcome. Nobody's seen that actually coming. We are where we are. We have to look on the positive side of things. Never mind all this negativity. We've got to embrace it in the local governments now in Northern. We've got to embrace what we can export, what deals can be done for the beef industry. Can new markets be seen, which there is clearly out there, and goodness knows in every dark cloud there's a silver lining, so maybe they will be able to do a lot more exporting out of the north here. So it's up to the local politicians now to get the best deals and look after their own people in the north.
And for farmers in the south, the UK is one of the biggest exporters, especially for beef. How do you think that's going to affect you in the north? Is it going to drive down prices?
We've got to look at the bigger thing here over this next 5 years of what exports that they can take forward outside the EU. If there's markets there in the Middle East and the Far East, it could open up more exports going now rather than curtailed within the EU.
And Northern Ireland receives 326 million in subsidies from EU. Do you see the British government funding?
Absolutely. I think that, listen, people know that the backbone of the whole of Ireland is the farming industry. They can't be ignored. And I have every faith that Martin McGuinness and Arlene Foster will step up to the mark and deliver that for the people. And as I say, they've got to take what they can out of this here, what the future is of this. Could be better things come out of it than we haven't foreseen.
So you're positive for the future then?
I didn't realise this was going to happen. Nobody did. It's got to take where we are and try and drive forward.
Talked yesterday morning?
No, I wasn't.
And can I ask you how you voted?
To get out.
You voted to leave?
Yeah.
What do you think it's going to mean now for the north and UK? You obviously think it's going to be a good thing.
Well, I think there's a lot of bureaucracy in Europe. And I think as well as that, perhaps it'll maybe do away with some of that bureaucracy. A lot of things seem to be European controlled. We would be better controlling it ourselves.
Yes. And are you a dairy or a beef farmer? You're a dairy farmer, okay.
Yes. Could cause complications now. There seems to be a lot of northern milk it's going to go across the border. I don't know, we'll just have to wait and see. There's a lot of ifs, ands and buts as yet, but things can't go any worse than what they are.
Francis King from BMWR Young Farmers Club.
So what did you think yesterday morning when you heard the news?
I was completely shocked. Thought we were going to stay. I was hoping we would stay. It's hard to know what's going to happen now.
And would you hope to take over the family farm one day?
Yeah.
Are you worried, especially for young farmers, in terms of subsidies and cap? What do you think it's going to mean for you?
Yeah, because nobody knows what's going to happen. Or is single farm payment still going to be there? What's the UK going to do? They don't even know themselves. That's the problem.
We're the only part of the UK that has any land border with the rest of the EU.
Hopefully there's no border controls or anything, because the public's one of our biggest suppliers and buyers. It'd be hard to put borders back in there, especially with all the work that's done with the process. And then beef prices could go down, beef could go up, no one knows. We're buying stuff off us, it's going to be dear, we're not going to want to do it. And then they're going to get beef somewhere else. So put our beef prices right down.
The grants that were due to be paid over the next 5 years, that was all to the European funded. I can see that all going in standstill now. Nobody's wanted
Do you think the British government's going to take that over and start paying for it?
Anybody that thought that the head was in the clouds, as far as I'd be concerned, they'd look after their own first, and we're very much second best. I think Scotland's going to put a spanner in the works now, because I can see them going, and I think if we had any sense over here, we'd be looking at ways to join them.
And for the beef industry, do you think that this could maybe be a positive and open up new markets?
I don't think so. We're having it hard enough getting rid of our beef to a European market without threat to a worldwide market. Our product's good, and remember, probably the beef end of it, it's been better now than it has been for a few years previous.
One possible positive is that there's too much bureaucracy. Do you think this could mean the end of it?
It probably is that, but that's why probably they should address some of the problems within themselves without taking as to what anybody else can do. The cap reform and the single farm payment. Like that, the single farm payment is basically what's keeping farmers in Northern Ireland going at the minute.
Yeah. What kind of farmer are you?
Dairy.
A dairy farmer, okay. Are you worried about subsidies, single farm payment, cap?
Sure, it's going anyway.
And can I ask you how you voted?
Out.
You voted out?
No, most of the farmers have been talking to that vote out. So
possibly open up new markets?
Hopefully it does. That's what we're hoping for.
It's just new territory and we haven't been there for
Do you see things settling down in the next few weeks and few months?
So, yeah, I think, yeah. Well, even the markets you could see yesterday, I know it was only a day, but they didn't finish out much worse than they were the day before, really. I know it's only a day, but I think it was a shock, it was a reaction to it, and they don't like uncertainty, but I think, people get used to it and get their head around. But as Robert said, it takes time.
There were no drastic changes, I don't think.
Europe need us as much as we need them.
The Irish Farmers Journal Weekly Podcast, brought to you by Ornua, the home of Irish dairy.